resolution. First, I'll call the meeting to order, and the resolution is R 23-31. It's a resolution electing the justice of the peace to preside over a portion of this meeting, of the Quorum Court meeting tonight, in the absence of the county judge. That's an approval. Okay. Any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. It's given a due pass. Next one is resolution number R 23-32. Resolution of the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas, naming the Hot Springs National Guard Armory Building the Garland County Armory Building.
Give it a due pass.
Second. Hunter.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Give it a due pass. There any comments? Ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. It passes. Next is appropriation ordinance 023-40, an ordinance to amend the 2023 Garland County Budget Ordinance 02257 to anticipate revenues, appropriate and transfer funds in various budgets, and for other purposes.
Move to adopt.
Second.
That's for a due pass to, you're still gonna have to vote on it in the main meeting, right?
Okay.
You still have to, we are just simply
Yes, sir.
approving,
So you're just approving the
form.
form of the document here.
Just the form is all we're doing. Okay.
Yeah. So do pass.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It's given a due pass. And there's an appropriation ordinance number 023-41. Ordinance to establish the annual operating budget for the calendar year 2024. Before we start talking about this, several years ago, there was the Quorum Court over, I think, in Helena, West Helena area, and they were having a big fight with the sheriff or somebody, and they weren't going to do anything until the circuit judge says, I'm going to put all of you in jail Christmas Eve, and you're going to stay there and pass the thing. They passed it. All right. So, is there a due pass on the appropriation ordinance?
Do pass.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll second.
Okay, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's given a due pass. I think that is all of it. If there's anything that I've missed, please let me know. And if we haven't missed anything, then I'm going to go ahead and declare the meeting adjourned. But
That's Ray's opponent.
Call to order the December meeting of the Garland County Quorum Court. Our opening prayer tonight will be by Brother Doug Jones. Doug, if you come up to the mic here and help us with that, we'd certainly appreciate it. And then join me in the pledge afterwards. Yeah, just turn it on there, Doug. Green light should come on for you, sir.
Ready? Okay. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for who you are. You are the King of Kings. You're the Lord of Lords. Through you, all things are established. Lord, you even give us a breath of life. We thank you for that. If we were to take time tonight and just sit around and talk about the things that you've done for us, we'd be here all night just saying what a God you are. But Father, even on your shoulders, you said the government rests. And we thank you for the way that you have set up the government for our country, the way that you set it up for our county. And Father, I pray right now that you just take and watch over and guide and direct everything that's said and done tonight. I pray, Father, that through your wisdom, decisions will be made to make decisions based upon your in such a way that will bring you honor and glory. I pray, Father, that you be with every one of the members here tonight, be with the meeting that's conducted. May it be civil. May it be something that you'll be proud of, something we'll be proud of as we walk away. Watch over God, direct everything. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Sarah, would you please call the roll?
Justice Broughton. Anderson. Dixon.
Here.
Young.
Here.
Bright. Here. Owen.
Here.
Myers.
Here.
Brazil.
Here.
Peters.
Here.
McGrath.
Here.
Hunter.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Rainey.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Justice Brazil, second by Justice Brown. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Chair will also entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from the November 27th meeting.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Justice Brazil, second by Justice Peters. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Exhibits A through E. Get a chance to look at those. Chair will entertain a motion to approve those exhibits. Motion made by Justice Anderson. Second by Justice Brazil. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Committee report. Ordinance Committee, Justice Owen.
The ordinance committee met just before this meeting, and the resolution and all ordinances were given a due pass.
And the exhibit C or the exhibit D that properly reflects the minutes from November 27th.
Yes.
All right. Environmental Services Committee, Public Works and Building, Chairman Hunter.
Judge, we did not make.
Thank you. Finance Committee, Brazil.
Exhibit C accurately reflect all the things that went on December the 4th, and everything received a due pass.
Human Resources Committee, Justice Anderson.
Judge, Exhibit E reflects the minutes that came before us on 2023, November 11, 2023.
Thank you, sir. Public Health, Welfare and Safety Committee, Chairman Rainey.
Judge, the Public Health, Welfare and Safety Committee did not meet.
Thank you, sir. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to accept the committee reports.
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Justice Dixon, second by Peters. Justice Peters. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, we've got to go through this process now. Let John take over and get you guys in order, guys and gals in order. I'm gonna go stand out there and watch out the windows.
Just as we're at the resolution 2331, which is electing a excuse me, justice of the peace to preside over a portion of this meeting in the absence of the county judge. You have done this a couple of times before. This is necessary related to the naming of this building, which is the upcoming resolution. So we need a nomination.
I would nominate Justice Owen.
Second.
There you go. Who was the second?
Young, I think,
Young.
or Anderson.
Call for the vote.
They both.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Bright. Yes. Owen,
I don't think I'm
Oh,
supposed to
sorry.
vote on this.
Myers,
Yes.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Peters.
Yeah.
McGrew.
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Rainey.
Yes.
And with that, Justice Owen is elected to preside over the next portion of this meeting over R 2332. Justice Owen, if you would take the seat up here, please. It's 2332, page 27 in your packet.
We're going to consider, I guess, vote on resolution number R 23-32. Resolution of the Quorum of Garland County, Arkansas, naming the Hot Springs National Guard Armory Building the Garland County Armory Building.
And for summary, this is the resolution that's been previously approved by Public Works Committee, which changes the name of this building to Mahoney Building and takes it back to the established it as the Garland County Armory Building.
Second.
So we need to read it. At this point, the county clerk needs to read the resolution. Justice Owen, you have a request from the public to speak, but it's not appropriate until we get it on the table. So
Let's put it on the table first.
once the clerk
Let's put
reads,
it on the table first.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution electing a justice of the peace to preside over a portion of the December 11th, 2023 Quorum Court meeting in the absence of the county judge. Whereas Arkansas Code annotated 1414-904 D1A provides that the county judge shall preside over the Quorum Court without a vote, but with the power of veto. And whereas Arkansas Code annotated 1414-904 D1 provides that in the absence of the county judge, the quorum of the justices by majority vote shall elect one of their number to preside, but without the power of veto. And whereas R 23-32, scheduled to be considered on December 11th, 2023, creates the appearance of a conflict of interest for Garland County Judge Neil Mahoney, and it would be inappropriate for him to preside over consideration of R 2332. And whereas the quorum of the justices that voted and elected one of their number to preside over the quorum court for the consideration of R 2332. Now therefore be resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas, that Justice Owen, District 6, has been elected by unanimous vote and shall preside over consideration of R 2332 at the December 11th, 2023 meeting of the Garland County Quorum Court.
so we got slightly out of sequence there. That was the resolution to elect Justice Owen. If everyone will ratify the votes after it having been read into the record, Sarah, you can just call for ratification.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bright, Myers, Brazil,
Yes.
Yes.
McGrew, Hunter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Yes.
And now we can proceed with the reading of R 2330.
be it resolved by the Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be titled Resolution of the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas, naming the Hot Springs National Guard Armory Building, the Garland County Armory Building. Whereas the former Hot Springs National Guard Armory Building, located at 210 Woodbine, Hot Springs, Arkansas, and owned by Garland County, was named the Mahoney Building by R 2314 in recognition of the service of Garland County Judge Daryl Mahoney. And whereas questions have arisen regarding the legality of the naming, and whereas Judge Mahoney believes that the name has become a distraction from county business and asked that the building be renamed. And whereas the Environmental Services, Public Works, and Buildings Committee has previously met and approved this resolution, now therefore it be resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas, that R 2314 is hereby rescinded and that the Hot Springs National Guard Armory Building, 210 Woodbine, shall hereafter be known as the Garland County Armory Building, and the county directed make such notation in the clerk's records and to affix an appropriate plaque or other recognition to the building.
Justice Owen, at this point, if the issue is on the table, and if you want to recognize, you can do that now.
Okay, recognize Speaker George.
Thank you. You know, I know there's been some controversy with the naming of this building, and
Mr. Pritchard, please state your
however,
name.
I
Pritchard.
believe I have a win-win situation. I'd like
Mr.
to
Pritchard,
close.
please put your name and address on the record, or your name and affiliation.
George Pritchett, 207 Crestwood,
Thank you.
Hot Springs, Arkansas. I've discussed with a number of people in our community and my church, and then other people have done the same thing. And we believe this building has some historical significance. We have some very deserving people we found that we could name this building after. I would ask you all to consider tabling or something else, delay this until perhaps February. I'd like to contact the family of the person that I want to suggest. And a member of this body gave me another name today that I also want to investigate. This building has a World War II connection. This building deserves to have a name beyond the Armory. In my hometown, it was named after the 45th Division. And then we have another one that I lived in another city. It was named after a man in the community. The man that I'm, in my first thought, went to Hot Springs School, served for 30 years in the military, went on to be a prominent man in our community and in the state, and he would be very deserving. I do want to contact his family before I give everyone the name to be sure that they would be in agreement with it, and two, that they would participate in the dedication ceremony. I also have others that have committed to me that they will work with me to raise money for a plaque on the building and put the man's name on it, and that would be certainly with the Quorum Court, county judge, everybody involved. It's a win-win for our city, our community, our county. And we're on the same grounds as the historic courthouse. We put some things in this building, and on this building, people are going to visit this. It's going to be on our brochures for Garland County. It's going to be on our Visitors Convention Bureau paperwork and things they do as a place to see. And I also want to do, I need the time to do more investigation with the Historic Society to be sure that everything is in order, and this is a person that I would recommend. And I'm going to also investigate the second person's name that was given to me today. And I'd like to have you all table this or whatever you do to wait until February to bring it up again, so I have sufficient time to bring to you a complete presentation with somewhat of a handout. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
George, I had two. I think you answered one maybe, but the first question would be: before this was senior citizen, what was the name of this building? What was it? What was the name on it?
I didn't understand.
What was this building before it was called the senior citizen building? Before they renamed it?
I believe it was called the Armory, but I think that it would be appropriate in our community that we should assign it a name of someone that distinguished themselves with their service record, also in our community. Since it's been redone in a manner excellent by our county judge, and he would be the person to dedicate it in that person's name. I think it's good for our community. This individual is widely known in the state. He contributed a lot to our community, our county, and the state of Arkansas, as well as his military record of more than 30 years. He rose to the to the position of Brigadier General.
My second question would be, considering how things have gone in the past, you said you've got a name that you would recommend. Somebody else gave you a name that they would like to see, and I've got a name that I'd like to see do. But don't you think this is going to cause a problem when you start looking at picking out who this building should be named after? Even though you do your investigation, there are going to be a lot of people out there that might decide that they want to name it after somebody that was in World War II as well. So what happens then?
Well, I would certainly welcome input from others, and I would discuss with others any names, and I will present y'all with a committee that will make the decision. I'm not interested in making the decision. I'm interested in getting a name on this building that can make it more than what it has been, just an armory, because I think we need to recognize our veterans and continually recognize them. And this man did that. Yes, Jimmy?
Um, George called me and talked my ear off about this, and I've thought a lot about it since. And what you said makes sense. I think the umbrella name might be our armory. I think local groups and such as yourself and others that are veterans groups might do a wall of honor, because when I think of one person, I think of 10. My uncle, several uncles. Charles Duffy Dugan was front page of the New Era um, for months during the war.
That would be a wonderful idea. I spoke also with the Elks Club, who does a lot with veterans, for veterans, and I'm prepared to approach and talk to the VFW and American Legion. A wall of honor would be a wonderful thing. I think the person that we put the name on the building should have very strong ties to our community and be a very outstanding. It's very distinguished, and I would I would say, I can bring multiple names or I could make a presentation. I'm just saying it would be nice to investigate it, and I'm open to names and suggestions. I just think this building is the historical significance, and as a veteran myself, that I would like to see a name on this building that's related to World War II and that distinguished himself in war as well as in our community and in our state.
Yeah, well, maybe armory and then a wall of honor beyond naming it armory, Garland County Armory.
I'm just making a proposal. I think it's a win-win for our community, a win-win for our county, win-win for our state, and certainly appreciate what we've done to redo this building. I've even talked to senior citizens that say, well, that was our senior center. I said, well, it's not your senior center. And I don't think that we want to hang that plaque on it, but I think we do need to hang the plaque on it with somebody's name. And the gentleman I have is some questions about being how long that they've been gone. They've been gone more than 20 years. Any other questions? Thank you for listening.
Thank you, George. Any other speakers?
Get his name on the record.
For the record, when you start, state your name, please.
Yes, Gary Jackson. Changing of the name of the building, the name is a name. If we're going to start talking about naming it after someone who served, there's a lot of people in this county that have served and given the ultimate sacrifice. So if you name it for those who have served Quorum Court building, that would make sense to me, but it makes no sense at all to name it after one person. I don't think any one person has any more honor than any other that has served before. So that's my opinion.
Thank you. Any other people that want to comment at this point in time? So
I agree that it is the Garland County Armory building and a way to honor so many, there are so many people that it could honor, like you said, with a wall of fame, similar to the memorial that we have up here with the bricks. But these would be Garland County people And, I'm sure that the Historical Society would work with it. It's not hidden.
Any other comments?
Vote at this.
There's a motion on the table. Please state the motion.
I'll make a motion. Table this. Oh, it's dealing with.
So the resolution, yeah, finished that. So procedurally, we have finished the first one. We have brought this one up for discussion. If there's no more discussion, then there needs to be some kind of measure. Procedurally, you can go ahead and approve this. You can deny this. You can table this. You can send it back to committee. The effect of those, if it is not passed tonight, the building continues with its current name. If you pass it, it will be renamed to the Garland County Armory. The previous resolution will be rescinded. And of course, Garland County Armory is a pretty nondescript name. If it to be named something else in the future, you always have the power to do that again. For what it's worth, my advice to you would be to go ahead and finalize this in some way this evening. And if you then need to come back and make changes in the future, have a committee study it, take names and suggestions from the public. You always have the power to do that.
I move we adopt resolution 2332.
Second.
Motion and a second. Call the roll.
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Bright. Myers. Brazil.
Yes.
Pierce. McGrew.
Yes.
Hunter.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Rainey.
The motion passes.
Anderson.
Motion
Anderson.
passes.
And you are relieved.
I've been relieved of my duties up here.
Good job, right?
Come back. I think the idea of a Hall of Honor is a great idea.
Yeah.
I think that even if we work with naming an individual, that we need a broader picture of target period of time to make sure that we considered everyone. But if we have a wall of honor dedicated on this building, that's the intention of residents of the county, that they should put that together and make an application there, present that to us, so we can decide a place to work, and then set about adding names on a regular basis. I think it would serve the community in a broader sense. I applaud the idea of recognizing the sacrifices of all the men who died for this country. It believes that we hold to our chest, there's most of it. I just think we could do it in a little better way. I like of all of honor.
Ready to continue? All right, moving to ordinances. Chair will entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read appropriation ordinances by title only.
So moved.
Motion made by Brazil, second by Peters. Sarah, please call the roll.
Justice Broughton.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Bright. Owen. Myers.
Yes.
Brazil.
Yes.
Pierce.
Yes.
McGrew.
Yes.
Hunter.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Rainey.
Yes.
All right, Sarah, please read 02340 by title only.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to amend the 2023 Garland County Budget Ordinance 02257 to anticipate revenues, appropriate and transfer funds in various budgets and for other purposes.
Second.
Motion made by Peters, second by Justice Brazil. Is that right? Any discussion?
Well, I wasn't here last week. I just want to say thank you for taking the initiative on the self-insured insurance to save us some money. I listened to the discussion after the finance committee met last week, and I appreciate you saving the taxpayers hopefully get close to $1 million on that.
We've been
project.
preparing for it, Justice Myers, for about 4 years now, because we just couldn't get competitive rates. And, there was some question about us spending money for claims that occurred during the year. Was that going to be a burden to us? But in actuality, it's the old Fram oil field for commercial. You can pay me now or pay me later, because if we have a bad year, the following year, our rates are going to go to the ceiling. This year, it was to the point that we did not get a competitive bid from either Qual Choice or UHC. Blue Cross Blue Shield came in at a 13% increase, and we tried to bargain with them. And for the past 3 years, we've had an increase each year, and we've either had to change our deductible or and provide more backing and support for our employees to offset their deductible, or we've had to make concessions in our policy. So it's we've been preparing for it. We've vetted the individuals that have brought this forth. We have some of, I believe, the best providers, our administrators, our pharmacy benefits manager. So we're going to go forward with it. They estimate a savings of about $850,000. That could always not be true if things go wrong. At this point, all of our employees are covered. We don't have anybody lasered out, but there could be someone lasered out. And basically, that means instead of us covering to 100, we would probably have to go to 150, but we would negotiate that with them on that single employee. And that would be from the historical records that we have. So we've got about 4 years with Blue Cross Blue Shield that we can look back on, and we know what our claims are each year. We know what we spend on claims. We know what we spend on our annual cost to them. And so each year we put about $475,000 back into this reserve fund, knowing that we would get to this point. So we've got that as a claims fund, and that the savings that they actually is in the contract that they are going to save us that amount of money. It's that it comes from rebates from pharmacy companies and changes in the plan. We've changed our plan somewhat, not to harm anybody, but to take things out that have tremendous side effects. And then the company that we're going with, UMR, they they'll be advocating for Garland County. They'll be working every day. I believe that Blue Cross Blue Shield is probably the Cadillac of health insurance, but we just couldn't stay there. We talked to our broker. We reached out to our broker to try to get other proposals from other insurance companies, and he did not want to do self-insured. I think he's about ready to retire, but he said it was 3 times the work for half the money, and he just didn't want to do it. That was his exact quote. And I understand that, but that's the companies that we have in front of us now that's what they do. Jefferson County, Craighead County, Polk County, Hot Spring County, they all utilize this same plan that we're going to. And it may take us a couple of years to get everything worked out and get it like it should be. So we may have extra expense going in, but in the end, I think it'll be a huge savings for us. And we can pattern our plan as it needs to be. We can cut out what needs to be cut out. If we see something we're not using, and we can guide our employees to a 24-hour center rather than a convenient care clinic, rather than going to the ER where they're going to have tremendous expense there. And quite honestly, if you go to the ER right now, you can't get in anyway. I mean, it's just so. I think this is something that will, in the end, be very good for Garland County. I've prayed about it a lot and sweated over it a lot. Of course, they don't give you much time to make the decision because they don't give you your records that you need until October. And then once you get your records from October, it's a pretty hard push to try to get everything done by open enrollment. But I think it's going to be good in the end, and we will monitor it every month. UMR will be on top of things. Our pharmacy benefits manager will be on top of everything. We'll get a report monthly. We'll see what we're doing. We'll see what our claims are, so we'll know what to expect. But overall, it's to keep our policy provisions for our employees basically the same. At this time, it looks like it's going to be about a $4 to $6 difference for the employee and family as far as increase. And so we're doing the best we can for Garland County and the employee. And that's a tough call because a lot of places that go self-insured wind up with an increase to the spouse and family that the employee pays for. So like I say, I've prayed about it a lot, and God would not give me a definitive answer. So we're going to start down this path and see if he goes with us. I think he will. Thank you for that. And I believe it's going to turn out to be good, and we will stay on top of it the whole way. Sorry, I got a little long-winded there. You can go. We've got a motion and a second if you want to call the roll, sir.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bright, Owen, Myers,
Yes.
Brazil,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
McGrew,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Brown,
Abstain.
Rainey,
Let the record reflect that Justice Brown abstained. He is a senior person with Blue Cross Blue Shield. I meant your age. So next ordinance, Sarah, 02341. This is the operating budget for the year. Please read it by title only.
being enacted by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to establish the annual operating budget for the calendar year 2024.
Go for approval.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Dixon, second by Justice Anderson. Any discussion? Hearing none, Sarah, please call the roll.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bright, Owen, Myers,
Yes.
Brazil,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
McGrew,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Rainey,
Yes.
All right, thank you. Mr. Troutman.
Thank you, Judge. Just want to reiterate what we said last week. Really appreciate the working relationship we have between the Metro Partnership and the county. And, talk is sometimes cheap. So just want to acknowledge the folks that came to show gratitude tonight. We've got our current partnership chair, Scott Dews, our 2020 chair, Ed Sanders, 2025 chair, Dr. Bill Allison, and our 2024 chairs of both the Chamber and Metro Partnership, Vince Signorelli with the partnership, Jared Zeiser with the Chamber, and then Cole, Gary, Vicky, and myself. So thank you all very much. Leaves it a little weird because 3 weeks in a row in front. I will back up and I'll address that in a minute. I'll give last week's report and then move into this one. Week before we were in the at Fountain Lake with the 10th graders and the 8th graders. Their entire classes there, Gary and I. The next day we're at Lakeside, hit their entire 8th grade classes on career development, just as a reminder what we're covering. We met with Matt Bell, the owner of Origami Sake, planning a big event in conjunction with him, and Visit Hot Springs at the end of February, early March, a 3-day event. We were back at Fountain Lake on Wednesday for the entire faculty there, talking to them. And we had, and I think I neglected to mention this last week, we had Dr. Doug Ross, a panel consisting of him, CEO at St. Vincent, Police Chief Billy Harverton, Chris Pendell from Fiber Pro, and Tony McKinley from Cobalt Aero. We have finalized our SHRM workforce media plan. And we've had site visits with USNR. Cole's participated in the Arkansas broadband call. We were originally scheduled to be at Hot Springs and knock out all 7 schools last Monday. That has been rescheduled until Thursday. So if I see you Friday, I'll tell you that we've knocked out all 7 of our Garland County schools. We've had a meeting in Malvern about Jones Mill that has been completely cleared now, at least on the right-hand side. They're working on the left-hand side. We spent last Tuesday with the Leadership Hot Springs Youth Group, and we had a panel. I didn't make my notes, but a panel of National Park Medical Center, Weyerhaeuser, Citizens Bank, and Cole, help me. Last one. Triumph Fairborn. Thank you for that group. And they also heard from Visit Hot Springs and our team. Was in Bentonville on Thursday with Cora Easterday from West Central. We presented our workforce advisory plan to the SHRM Foundation and to workforce group in the state. So we're thrilled to have that done and get that recognition for Garland County. Um, let's see. If you're a fan of the Democrat Gazette, you read about Rex Nelson and a nice feature on DeLucas and Hot Springs last Wednesday. And Oaklawn had a very successful weekend, 14,500 on Friday, 17,000 on Saturday. Have the Workforce Development Board today, and tomorrow we have the Leadership Hot Springs group. We got 28 folks in it all day tomorrow. So, Judge, just a reminder, last week I asked for the pleasure of the court. You all know, give the report at the Finance Committee on one Monday and turn around and essentially give the same report twice the following Monday for the 6 folks that aren't on the Finance Committee. So would just humbly ask that County Attorney Howard, figured out this year that really you're just approving the report, that the budget has been approved as it was tonight. Just like to ask, for the sake of folks that come support us, and Cole and I and Gary, when we give this, we'd like to see if we could just give it at Quorum Court every month, once a month, as we do at the city board meeting.
Gary, I think we'll take that up on the agenda, the first meeting in January.
Okay.
We'll take it up to full Quorum Court meeting and let them make a decision on it. It wasn't on tonight's agenda, so we'll put it on the agenda there. And I apologize, it's just been a short turnaround from the last Quorum Court meeting.
Certainly understand. Fair enough. Thank you all very much.
Move to accept the report.
Motion made by
Brown.
Justice Brown, second
Dixon.
by Justice Dixon. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. In your package, you have a overtime report in there. I want to take a look at it. If you got any questions about it, I'll try to answer every office that I can.
Post it again, damn it.
Once you've had an opportunity to look it over, Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Motion made by Justice Young. Is that you? And second by Justice Rainey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. One more thing before we go. We don't have it in hand yet, but we received our 2022 legislative audit with no finding for any office, from what I understand in my exit, Amy. So 2022, we have no findings from legislative audit. You should be getting one in the mail. Each of you should receive a copy of the legislative audit in the mail. So I think we did a good job. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're adjourned. Let's